My mom was the first CFO of her kind, but I think that was a really important thing as a little kid to see of like, I'm going to be a woman, I'm going to take up a lot of space, and I'm going to be a leader of a company.
I've heard fantastic things about Debbie Riker, CFO at Esprit de Corps back in the 80s. It is not common today to have women in positions at the C-suite level. And so back then, it was even more uncommon. And I'm curious what that was like as a little girl and seeing this incredible example.
My mom is an incredible inspiration, not just to me, but to so many other people in her life. My mom was the first CFO of her kind as well. Esprit was in this very, not unlike HubSpot, very innovative place, and wasn't huge, but also wasn't small. And they had this opportunity to change the way that people were buying clothes at the time in the 80s. And my mom was working for Doug Tompkins, who was an innovator, the founder of the North Face. He was just on this rocket ship. And I have seen in my life the things that my mom has been able to do and accomplish as a woman in the workforce, also in the financial element. That is not a place that women even today are still a primary component of. And when I look, particularly when I was a little girl, I think something that really stood out to me was she also enjoyed it. She loved it. She found passion. It was hard, wasn't always easy, but the way that she carried herself when she talked about her job, it gave me the same feeling you see when you watch, old movies and guys in suits and talking about the important things that they do. And that was her. And there was no excuse. There was no, I'm going to minimize myself. It is, I take up this space and this is what it means. And as I was growing up and then went into the corporate world myself, that was something that I always thought about before I got on stage for speaking events, before I come and get interviewed. I think about, well, what would my mom do and how can I manifest that? She's an unbelievably humble person, which is very frustrating, but I think she could give herself a lot of kudos and she doesn't. I think some of that humble piece of it too is I do this because I love it and I enjoy it. And I want other people to enjoy either the profits or, of course, what I end up doing. But she gave me that space to take up for myself. And I think that was a really important thing as a little kid to see of I'm going to be a woman, I'm going to take up a lot of space and that's going to be okay. And not only going to be okay, but I'm going to be a leader of a company. I'm going to do all of these things. And telling her that now of well, I saw that when I was 8 years old and you're on the phone at 6 o'clock at night telling someone else to do something, yes, I want to be that person.